Hi, I'm Travis. I'm the Residence Director for Gilson Hall at the University of San Francisco. It's a first-year community of about 400 students, and I supervise a staff of 15 resident advisors, and I also supervise a graduate assistant who serves as a assistant residence director here at Gilson. And there are a lot of different reasons why in my job search, I decided to come to USF and to be a part of this community. For me, it was really, really important to be able to have a position where I would be allowed to have my hand in a lot of different things. I was coming fresh out of graduate school from New York University, having studied higher education and student personnel administration there. And it was important for me to be able to take on a position that would allow me to have my hand in a lot of different pots. So this position allows me to do that. I spend a good portion of my time supervising the resident advisors in doing trainings and sort of using my time with them as sort of a guiding hand for what they're doing here in the hall and discussing anything that they really need to discuss in our one-on-one meetings. But I also use a good portion of my time for student conduct, which is an area that I didn't have a lot of experience in before coming here. But I've come to find that it's been a really interesting way and kind of a fun way at times to get to know my residents, because it allows me to sort of interact with them in a way that I find can be really, really helpful and really educational. Even though it was one of the things that I think intimidated me most about coming to this position, not having had a lot of conduct experience. I also spend a good portion of my time working with the front desk staff, and that is sort of an area where I work with my assistant residence director and sort of work with her in supervising the front desk and making sure that everything is in order there for folks, because it is sort of their first point of contact, and it's a major source of concern with regards to safety for our community, so it's really fun to work with her on those things. And yeah.
What was it like moving to San Francisco?
I was excited to move to San Francisco. I love, 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 love the beautiful, wonderful, fair city of San Francisco. For me, it was really important to be able to go and work at an institution, but also somehow find that rumored idea of a personal life and that rumored idea of a work-life balance in higher education and student affairs, which I know, especially going into your first position, can seem like something that can be non-existent. But I knew that if I was going to work somewhere like a large city, in a large urban city like San Francisco, it may actually allow me to do that because there's just so much to do here. So I've sort of referred to my time here at San Francisco and at USF as falling in love with the city of San Francisco and sort of my love affair with the city of San Francisco. There's a lot to do, and I find that it's nice for me to stay in and be cozy and watch DVDs and sit on my couch and relax after work, and if that's what I want to do, great. But it's also really nice to know that I have the option of going out and eating at one of the amazing restaurants, at any of the amazing restaurants in the city, or going to a historical site, or going to the beach, or going downtown. And USF's location is really kind of ideal because it's kind of smack dab in the middle of everything, but it's also kind of secluded and quiet where we're at, so I think it's been really, really nice for me. And in speaking with some of my friends that work at other institutions, it's been kind of cool because I come to realize more and more how lucky I am to really live where I live and to get to experience the Bay Area and all of the wonderful people here and the wonderful sights that there are to see.
What's your experience been like working with USF students?
USF students are by far and away some of the most talented students I've had the opportunity and I've been messing up on this question. So
just start over and edit it. What was it like working?
USF students. Okay. USF students are some of the most wonderful and talented students I've had the opportunity to work with in my career in student affairs. Social justice is a really, really big value of mine, and being able to be in an environment that not only supports the idea of social justice in a way that I sometimes find can be trivial and trendy at certain institutions, but being able to be an environment that really pushes students to have serious discussions around social justice and privilege and diversity, and being able to have those discussions as a department was really, really important for me. And that's happening here at USF, and it's very real and it's very tangible, and I think a lot of that has to do with our Jesuit mission and our Jesuit values, with a commitment to social justice, but also I think it has a large part to do with our location in the beautiful, fair, progressive city of San Francisco, where these discussions are very real, and it gives us a nice background with which to be discussing lots of different issues. But the students here really have a vocabulary and really have a commitment to social justice in a way that I haven't experienced at other institutions, and it's refreshing to me, and it's reassuring as someone who identifies as a social justice nerd, to be here surrounded by these students who really have a strong commitment to these things, and really have really watch them be shaping these ideas around what justice is and what justice looks like here on campus, but also out in the world. And again, I think that ties a lot to the Jesuit mission of, educating hearts and minds to change the world. So it makes me proud to work here. I'm always impressed with my students, and there's times when I do workshops and discussions around issues of social justice or diversity or identity development, and I have this idea in my head of where the students are going to be. And oftentimes they sort of, end up surprising me with being light years ahead of where I thought they would be in terms of how deep they're able to dig into the discussions. And so I just think it's really, really impressive. I've been really impressed with the students here.
Great. Talk about working for Office of Residence Life a little bit, the department, and your experience. Maybe touch on like a favorite aspect.
Great. One of the things I was looking for in a department when I was looking for my position and in coming to USF, I was looking for a job that would allow me to bring my full self to work and allow me to not turn off certain things when I come into a meeting and be expected to be this other person. And I really feel like I'm able to do that here. I really feel like the Office of Residence Life and the other departments that we work in under the Division of Student Development here at the University of San Francisco allows me to bring my full, fabulous self to work every single day, and I feel really, really lucky to have that. Our department has a strong focus and commitment to social justice, and we also, I feel like, in coming and doing my interviews here on campus, I was struck by how intelligent and how wonderful the other residence directors were, and it was a team that I instantly wanted to be a part of, because these were people whose values matched mine, and these were people who had similar interests within student affairs and higher education as I did. So it was something that I was really, really excited about, and it's a department that really values the continued discussions around student development and continued discussions around ideas of social justice, and a lot of those values that we have in the field of student affairs are very real within our department and our conversations that we are continuing to have. We're not always sitting around, talking theory and have our Journal of College Student Development out, but sometimes we do, and it's kind of fun, and I enjoy that aspect of this job a lot, and I find that it sort of pushes me to fine-tune my student development lens, and it's something that I really value in the department. And we're really fun. ORL is a lot of fun. We're a fun group. And I like that I can go into a meeting and bring my full self and have a very serious discussion with these folks around things that I see that are wrong at our institution, and things that I think need to be improved, but also know that I'm going to be able to do that, and that our department welcomes discussions around what needs to be changed, and is always fine-tuning itself to make sure that we're providing the best environment possible for the people that call this place home, and for our community, for the students, for the faculty, and for the staff. And I think that that's something that you don't find at every institution, and that's something that I feel very comfortable doing here. And I appreciate being able to, have very real discussions about what I'd like to see changed, and to feel like I'm being listened to. It's really important.
And then just have some sort of closing statement.
Some sort of closing statement.
Begin it with like a, not a well.
Like a what?
Begin it without an well.
Well. Yeah, I know, I do that a lot.
Because I'm going to edit everything out until that point.
Okay. Let's see. So this is like for the recruitment.
Yeah, so like someone who's seeing that.
Okay. Well, I hope and look forward to meeting you at either the Placement Exchange or Career Central at the ACPA convention, and maybe hosting you here on campus, and make sure that you spend some time poking around the University of San Francisco website and get to know a little bit more about us, and bring any questions you have with you to your interview. And we're really, really excited to meet you and looking forward to possibly getting to know you and possibly working with you in the future. But yeah, I don't know what else to say.